Hello, it's Tim from Toy Tinker Tim, and in this repair and restoration episode, I'm fixing up this worn vintage toy box that's over 40 years old. It's from the highly collectible Kenner $6 Million Man line of toys. The front doesn't look too bad. Some dings on the cardboard around the box's window, crushed edge near the bottom flap, and some visible tears in each top corner of the flap. Flipping it over, some of the wear and damage are quite a bit more noticeable. There's torn flaps, the back is caved in, there's yellowed tape, a dog-eared corner on the bottom right of the package art. Taking a closer look at what needs repair, there's a gouged in tear right at the edge of the cardboard next to the box window, and opposite of that is a pushed in tear. The top flaps have some ripping and crumpling. The bottom flap has a sharp dent in it, but it's not too much wear. The original packaging tape is browned, stiff and brittle. The old adhesive residue on that flap, I'll try to clean that up. There's a bit of a feel of grunge all over the box. It's just age and storage. So I'll go over a surface cleaning process for that. The dog-eared corner has pretty well flattened the printed surface back. So hopefully the print is still attached on the side that I can't see here. So we'll see what we find as we go. The top flap is probably the heaviest hit on the wear and damage on the entire box. There's some remnants of the original price tag, and I've thought about taking it off, but I'm thinking I'm probably just going to let it be. The insert blue backer card I can't even remove from the top because the box has been so caved in on the back. Other than the warping, from what I can see here, it doesn't look to be in too bad of shape. At this point, I'm still not sure about replacing the plastic window. It's already been coming loose on the inside of the box. I can see gaps in the edges where the box frames it. There is yellowing and some dents in there too, so I'm going to see as I go. So after sizing it up, taking an inventory of what needs to be done on this, it's time to get things underway. I'll open the bottom flap to hopefully get a better chance to get that insert backer card out. And yeah, it's a little tight because of the caving in of the box, but without much of a snag here, and it's looking actually very good. The corners aren't dinged up, no rips or tears. There's just the heavy warpage that the outer box has. So this part should be a pretty neat, clean straightening out. The side flap with the artwork has some separation, so overall it's still solid, but if it's loose in areas, I want to open those edges up so I can apply the glue to tighten it up. The rips, the frame, the dog ear repairs, I'll start on those after I straighten up the box. I'm going to start this off with the easier task first of the blue card straightening. And the way I do this, I set a clothes iron to a wool setting with a light steam setting. And then I lay parchment paper over the surface that I'll be treating, and that prevents sticking but allows enough steam heat through it to help straighten the cardboard. So throughout this process, always make sure any printed surfaces are protected with the parchment paper, even from the surface you're working on. There we go, it's straightened up pretty nicely. Now I'll basically be repeating this process I used on the insert for the main box here. Because of the design of the box, I'll be using some other boards as well at times to elevate and support the surface so as to iron that out without damaging areas of the box. I keep applying a steady pressure to the iron as I move it around so there's no chance of scorching a spot. Now that the steaming has relaxed the paper and cardboard, I'm going to try and get some of the straightening started on that dog-eared corner of the box. Just a reminder, I place the parchment paper not just between the iron and the box, but also between the box and the surface, like here the wood that I'm ironing it on. So now it's just the process, just a lot of repeating this carefully throughout. Here I'm just giving you an example of how I'm working with other boards and surfaces to elevate areas, corners, edges on the box in the back here when I iron. So just taking a look over here after the first round of straightening, and it's looking much better already. I can see some areas I want to go back to and try to straighten those out a little bit farther. The crushed flaps have visually improved greatly. So next I'm going to tackle the old tape residue and also address the damage to the box around that window frame. With the dried up brown tape adhesive, I'm using some nail polish remover, acetone. It's slightly diluted with water to try to help prevent it from removing any coloring off of the packaging label. So I'm just dabbing it on with a cotton swab. There needs to be caution here because it can remove the coloring from the printed paper. It's old, it's vintage, so the varnish that's used in the printing process can also get dissolved, so just want to take it slow and easy on this, not be too aggressive with it. Now it's time to address this gouged in tear near the box window. Although I'm pretty sure at this point I will replace the plastic. If you have something similar working with an edge support like this, it's a burnishing tool. It can help you work around these tricky spots that need a little bit of support there to really work on it. I'm starting at this damage with a combination of pushing down and pressing out on the tear area. This spot is really compacted and compressed. As I'm working on this, I can see I'll only get so far without possibly damaging the box surface. I've dampened the area with a bit of distilled water to soften it temporarily so I can work it flat. This is also going to help with the torn fibers in that paper, so it'll lay flat for a smoother repair. I've removed the window here now for a more detailed restoration. And here's something I haven't shown before. It's called a drawing cleaning pad. These are used to clean smudges off of drawings, cleaning up inked artwork. It's like a giant, very soft, gentle eraser. It's mushy. So the force it has is the force you apply to it, to the surface. You can see it's not picking up the coloring from the package art, but it is removing the grunge, the dirt, smudges from the box safely. It's a good way to brighten it up. The only drawback, if it is a drawback, is it's messy, so you'll need to brush off the surface and your work area frequently. Working on the top flap where the dog-eared corner is really blown out, and I'm using a process that I'll be repeating throughout the other damage on the box. I'll use the steel burnishing tool to lift, flatten, and press the packaging. I'm brushing in white glue, which is a polyvinyl acetate, that's PVA glue. It has a flex after it dries, which works well with the nature of cardboard, and it has a neutral pH. So I'm applying the glue slightly thinned in areas with distilled water, working it into damaged areas. I always try to place the glue as deeply as possible into those areas where the cardboard has separated or the artwork has lifted from the cardboard backing. Then burnishing it down as smooth as possible without crushing it. So pressure, just not too much, depending on your surface material. On this tab and window area there are tears all the way through, front and back. This linen tape provides a way to reinforce the packaging and still have a certain flex. It's archival also. To replace the window of the box, I'll get a measurement of my original, and I've noticed these weren't always glued in a very uniform manner. Some are at angles even. The acetate is one I've bought in bulk on a roll, but you can shop for this in a craft hobby store where it's sometimes sold in a pad. I'll be attaching this here with a double-sided tape. It's archival safe again. The tape is a little wide, so I'm going to be trimming one edge of my new window to get a tighter, snug fit to the inside corner of the box. A test fit first, make sure everything is going to line up, and then carefully removing the backing on the double-sided tape. I'm keeping that steel ruler in the box at first here to just start to help keep things from sliding around too much as I begin to work the new window with the tape exposed into it. Flipping it over so I can press it in good and tight along the edges, and then I'll flip it over for a little more work, and it's looking pretty good. Now with the blue insert back in, it's time to take a look and review how it all turned out. And it's not bad for a 40-plus-year-old cardboard toy box. It was only designed with the intention for the sell, not for a keepsake. So just taking a look here at some comparison before and after shots, it's shaped up pretty nicely. This box wasn't in too bad of a shape to begin with, so that alone is a major help here at the start. I have another toy box repair video that I've done that I'll have linked here where the box is in much worse shape, but this has turned out pretty good. So that's a wrap here on this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. You took away some new processes here that you can apply to your own projects, some of the materials. Hit the like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Show your support. And as always, thanks for watching.